The whisper in the galaxy. In the vast expanse of the galaxy, among countless stars and civilizations, there was one name that brought a chill to even the bravest beings. Earth, the third planet. It was a name rarely spoken aloud, a mystery buried deep in fear and unanswered questions. In a grand chamber on the planet Jorith, the Galactic Council had gathered. This was where the wisest and most powerful leaders of the galaxy met to discuss matters of great importance. Today, however, the room was quieter than usual. Whispers about Earth had reached the council, and the topic had everyone on edge. Earth, said Elder Vorax, his voice trembling slightly, has been silent for centuries. No signals, no activity, but still the stories persist. The room buzzed with unease. Even the youngest council members knew the legends. Earth was once a small, insignificant planet in a remote corner of the galaxy. Yet, something had happened there, a turning point in history that changed everything. Now it was a place shrouded in secrecy, a planet no one dared to approach. Zara, a young researcher from the peaceful planet Ulan, sat at the edge of the council chamber. She was not a member of the council, but had been allowed to observe the meeting. Her heart raced as she listened. Zara had spent years studying ancient galactic records, and Earth was her favorite subject. The mystery of the third planet fascinated her. Why does no one talk about what happened to Earth? Zara asked, her voice breaking the heavy silence. The council turned to her, some with disapproval, others with pity. Elder Vorax sighed deeply. Child, there are things in this galaxy that are better left forgotten. Earth is one of them. But how can we fear something we don't understand? Zara argued. The stories are vague at best. Was Earth destroyed? Did its people vanish? Or is it still out there, hiding? Elder Vorax leaned forward, his eyes sharp. Do you know what the galaxy calls Earth, Zara? The silent grave. Every civilization that tried to uncover its secrets disappeared. Ships sent to investigate were never heard from again. That is why we fear Earth, not for what we know, but for what we don't. Zara felt a chill run down her spine, but her curiosity only grew stronger. She couldn't understand how such a powerful mystery could be ignored. If Earth was truly a danger, wouldn't it be wiser to uncover the truth? After the meeting, Zara approached her mentor, Lyra, an experienced historian who had always encouraged her to question the unknown. Do you think the stories about Earth are true? Zara asked. Lyra hesitated. Truth and myth are often intertwined, Zara. I have read accounts of Earth's rise, a small planet with fragile beings who somehow mastered technology far beyond their years. Some say they created weapons capable of destroying entire fleets with a single strike. Others claim they unlocked the secrets of life and death itself. Zara's eyes widened. Then why did they disappear? No one knows, Lyra replied. Some believe they destroyed themselves. Others think they chose to isolate themselves, perhaps to prepare for something greater. But whatever the reason, Earth became a ghost, and ghosts are best left undisturbed. That night, Zara couldn't sleep. The stories replayed in her mind like a haunting melody. Why was Earth feared by the galaxy? What had happened to its people? She thought about the ancient records she had uncovered in the past, hints of Earth's incredible achievements, strange messages that seemed to come from nowhere, and warnings from civilizations that no longer existed. Her curiosity soon turned into resolve. Zara decided she couldn't let the mystery of Earth remain unanswered. She needed to know the truth, even if it meant breaking every rule set by the council. The next day, Zara returned to her research lab. She accessed old galactic charts and found Earth's coordinates. The third planet was located in a system humans had once called the Solar System. It seemed ordinary at first glance, just one of many star systems in a galaxy teeming with life. But the more she studied, the more strange anomalies she found. The space around Earth's system was marked as restricted on every chart, surrounded by warnings. Ancient probes sent to the area had reported unusual gravitational distortions before vanishing. No one had returned to tell the tale. Whatever Earth is hiding, it's big, Zara whispered to herself. Her mentor's words echoed in her mind. Ghosts are best left undisturbed. But Zara couldn't turn back now. The unknown called to her, louder than any warning. If the galaxy feared Earth, there had to be a reason. And she was determined to find out. As Zara prepared for her journey, a strange unease filled her heart. She didn't know what awaited her on the third planet, but one thing was certain. This was not just another research mission. This was the beginning of a story that would change everything she thought she knew about the galaxy and herself. Far away, deep in the shadows of the solar system, an ancient presence stirred. It was as if Earth itself had sensed her approach. The Forbidden Journey. Zara sat in the cockpit of her small research ship, the Stellar Voyager, staring at the blinking navigation system. The ship hummed quietly, a stark contrast to the chaos brewing in her mind. She had defied every warning, broken every protocol, and left her home planet of Ulan without permission. The destination glowing on her screen was unmissable. Earth. The galaxy called it the third planet, but it was more than just a number. It was a legend wrapped in fear, a place spoken of in hushed tones. Zara's heart pounded as her ship sped toward the restricted zone surrounding Earth's solar system. No one had crossed this boundary in centuries. At least, no one who lived to tell the tale. As the ship approached the outer edge of the Forbidden Zone, Zara noticed her instruments behaving strangely. The navigation system stuttered, showing impossible coordinates. The gravity sensors blinked erratically, registering sudden, unexplainable shifts. This can't be right, she muttered, her voice shaky. Her AI companion, a small spherical drone named Kiro, floated beside her. Its mechanical voice broke the silence. Zara, the gravitational anomalies suggest an artificial interference. Do you wish to proceed? Zara hesitated. She could feel the weight of the stories pressing down on her, the countless warnings from elders and historians. Yet her curiosity burned brighter than her fear. We proceed, she said firmly. As soon as they crossed into the Forbidden Zone, a loud hum filled the cabin. The stars outside the viewport flickered, as if reality itself was bending. Zara gripped the controls tightly, her eyes darting to the scanners. Cairo, what's happening? Cairo's voice carried a rare tone of concern. Unidentified energy signatures detected. They appear to be monitoring us. Monitoring. Zara repeated, her voice barely a whisper. She glanced at the external cameras, but all she saw was empty space. Yet the feeling of being watched was undeniable. Suddenly, a signal burst through the ship's communication system, a low, guttural sound that sent shivers down Zara's spine. It wasn't a language she recognized, but it felt deliberate, purposeful. Cairo, analyze the signal. The drone paused before responding. The signal contains no recognizable patterns. It is unlike anything recorded in the galactic database. However, Cairo hesitated. There is something odd. The signal is layered, as if hiding something beneath the surface. Play it, Zara commanded. The guttural sound filled the cabin again, but this time, Zara could hear faint whispers beneath it. The whispers grew louder, forming words in a language she shouldn't have understood, but somehow did. They watch, they wait, they remember. The words echoed in her mind, sending a chill down her spine. Before Zara could react, the ship's engines flickered, and the lights dimmed. A warning flashed across the console. System overload. What's happening? Zara shouted. External interference is disrupting critical systems, Cairo replied. We are being pushed off course. Zara gritted her teeth and fought the controls. The ship veered wildly, as if an invisible force was trying to shove it away. She activated the emergency thrusters, forcing the ship back toward Earth's coordinates. Then, as abruptly as it had started, the interference stopped. The ship stabilized, and the lights returned to normal. Zara stared out the viewport, breathing heavily. Ahead of her was a planet bathed in soft blue and green hues. Earth. "It's beautiful," she whispered. But something about it felt wrong. The planet looked alive, vibrant, yet unnaturally still. No satellites orbited its surface. No ships passed by. The only sound in the cabin was Zora's own breathing and the faint hum of the ship. Cairo interrupted her thoughts. "Zora, I am detecting faint transmissions from the planet's surface. They are ancient but active." "Can you trace them?" she asked. "Yes. They appear to originate from beneath the surface, in a region the humans once called North America." Zora's fingers hovered over the controls. The closer she got, the more her excitement mingled with dread. The stories she had read in the archives seemed to come alive in her mind. Tales of humanity's rapid rise, their technological prowess, and their sudden disappearance. As the ship entered Earth's atmosphere, Zora felt the weight of history pressing down on her. This was a planet that had once stood at the pinnacle of power, only to vanish without a trace. Whatever secrets it held, she was determined to uncover them. The ship descended toward the surface, guided by the faint signals Cairo had detected. Zora scanned the landscape below. Vast forests, abandoned cities, and rivers that glistened like silver veins. Yet there was no sign of life. It was as if the planet had been frozen in time. "Cairo, scan for signs of movement," Zora said. "Scanning," the drone replied. A moment later, it added, "No organic life detected within a 500-kilometer radius." Zora frowned. A planet this vibrant should have been teeming with life. Yet everything was unnervingly silent. The ship landed smoothly in a clearing near the source of the signals. As Zora stepped out, the air felt heavy, almost electric, as if the planet itself was alive and aware of her presence. She activated her suit's scanner and followed Cairo toward the signal's origin. It led her to the entrance of what appeared to be an underground facility. The door was old and rusted, but the faint glow of energy pulsed beneath its surface, like a heartbeat. Zora hesitated, her hand hovering over the control panel. Her instincts screamed at her to turn back, but her curiosity was too strong to ignore. She pressed the panel, and the door groaned open. As she stepped inside, a voice echoed from the darkness. It was deep and mechanical, yet oddly human. "Welcome, traveler. We have been waiting." Zora froze, her heart racing. She had just crossed into the unknown, and there was no turning back. The silent planet. The metallic doors groaned as they slid open, revealing a dimly lit corridor stretching into darkness. Zora hesitated at the threshold, her pulse pounding in her ears. The voice that had welcomed her moments ago was gone, leaving an eerie silence in its wake. Cairo hovered beside her, its sensors glowing faintly. Environmental analysis complete. Air composition is breathable, but energy readings are unusual. "Unusual how?" Zora whispered, gripping her scanner tightly. "There's a consistent energy signature throughout this structure, but it doesn't match any known technology in the galactic database." Zora swallowed hard. "Let's proceed. Stay close." As they moved deeper into the corridor, the walls seemed to pulse faintly, as if alive. Strange symbols glowed faintly on the metallic surfaces, their meanings indecipherable. Every step Zora took echoed unnaturally, as though the space around her was amplifying the sound. She couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. The corridor opened into a massive chamber, its ceiling lost in darkness. In the center stood a tall, cylindrical device, surrounded by an intricate network of wires and glowing panels. The device thrummed with a low, rhythmic hum, like the heartbeat of a sleeping giant. "Cairo, scan the device," Zora ordered, her voice barely above a whisper. The drone's sensors flickered. "It's a data storage unit, but its capacity is staggering. It could hold the collective knowledge of an entire galaxy." Zora's curiosity overpowered her fear. She approached the device, her fingers brushing against its cold, metallic surface. The hum grew louder, and the room seemed to vibrate. A sudden burst of light erupted from the device, and a holographic figure materialized before her. It was human, a man with sharp features and piercing blue eyes, dressed in a uniform adorned with strange insignias. "Greetings," the hologram said, its voice calm but commanding. "If you are seeing this, it means you have found what we left behind." Zara stepped back, her eyes wide. Who are you?" "I am Dr. Elias Vaughn," the hologram replied, "one of the last custodians of Earth's legacy." The words hung heavy in the air. Zara's mind raced. A custodian. Legacy. What had happened to the people of Earth? "What do you mean by what you left behind?" she asked. The hologram's expression grew somber. "Centuries ago, Earth faced a choice: survival or annihilation. Our technological advancements had made us a target for the galaxy's most powerful civilizations. They feared us, and rightly so. To ensure our survival, we chose to disappear." "Disappear?" Zara echoed, her voice trembling. "But how? And why?" Dr. Vaughn's hologram gestured to the chamber around them. "We created this facility as a safeguard, a repository of our knowledge and history. The rest of humanity is elsewhere." "Elsewhere?" Zara's heart raced. "You mean they're still alive?" The hologram's image flickered. "Alive, but hidden. We understood that our presence in the galaxy would lead to endless conflict, so we withdrew, but not without a plan. If you've come here, it means our time may be approaching." Zara shook her head, trying to process the enormity of what she was hearing. "Your time for what?" "To return," the hologram said simply. "Earth was never destroyed. We chose to make it appear so. We left clues for those brave enough to seek the truth. But now, the galaxy must prepare. Humanity will rise again." The words sent a chill through Zara. This wasn't just a forgotten planet. It was a sleeping giant, waiting for the right moment to awaken. Before she could respond, the hologram shifted, its tone growing more urgent. "Be warned. By coming here, you have triggered a signal. Others will know you've been here. They will come." "Others?" Zara asked, her voice shaking. "Who?" The hologram's expression darkened. "The ones who tried to destroy us. The ones who fear what we became." Cairo beeped suddenly, its sensors flashing red. "Zara, multiple energy signatures detected approaching Earth's orbit. They're closing in fast." Zara's stomach dropped. She turned to the hologram. "What do I do?" The hologram's piercing eyes locked onto hers. "The knowledge stored here must not fall into the wrong hands. You must leave now. Take what you've learned and decide for yourself. Will you stand with us or against us?" Before Zara could respond, the chamber began to shake. The hum of the device grew louder, and the hologram started to glitch. Cairo's voice cut through the chaos. "Zara, we need to evacuate immediately." She hesitated, her gaze lingering on the holographic figure. Then, with a deep breath, she turned and sprinted back toward her ship, Cairo close behind. As they reached the surface, Zara saw the sky above Earth shimmering with strange lights. Ships, alien and ominous, were descending through the atmosphere. "Cairo, start the engines," she shouted, clambering into the cockpit. The stellar Voyager roared to life, and Zara gripped the controls tightly as the ship lifted off. She glanced back at the planet below, its surface deceptively calm despite the storm brewing above. "Where to, Zara?" Cairo asked. She stared out at the vastness of space, her mind a whirlwind of questions and fear. Earth's secrets were no longer just hers. The galaxy would soon know that humanity wasn't gone. It was waiting. "Anywhere but here," she muttered, her voice barely audible. As the ship shot into hyperspace, Zara couldn't shake the feeling that her journey had only just begun. The hidden guardians. The stellar Voyager darted through hyperspace, the hum of its engines a constant reminder of the fragile barrier between Zara and the chaos she had left behind. She leaned back in her seat, her breathing still unsteady. Earth wasn't just a mystery, it was a warning. And now the galaxy knew someone had dared to disturb it. Cairo floated silently, its sensors dimmed, until it finally spoke. We have left Earth's orbit and entered neutral space. No signs of pursuit, yet. Zara exhaled, but her relief was short-lived. What were those ships, Cairo? Why were they heading to Earth? Cairo's mechanical eye swiveled toward her, analyzing their energy signatures. Preliminary data suggests they belong to multiple factions. At least one matches the records of the Ralnak Empire. Zara's blood ran cold. The Ralnak were one of the most feared civilizations in the galaxy, known for their conquest of planets and eradication of species they deemed a threat. They know about Earth now, Zara muttered. They'll try to take whatever's down there. Cairo's tone grew grave, and they will not hesitate to destroy anyone in their way. Zara clenched her fists. She hadn't just stumbled into a mystery. She'd ignited a firestorm. But even as fear clawed at her, curiosity burned brighter. She couldn't forget Dr. Vaughn's words. Humanity wasn't gone. They were hidden, waiting for their time to rise. What do I do now? Zara asked aloud, more to herself than to Cairo. The drone responded anyway. We must analyze the data you retrieved from Earth's facility. It may hold answers or warnings. Zara nodded and pulled up the holographic interface in front of her. The data Cairo had extracted was vast, far more than she could comprehend in one sitting. But one file caught her attention. Elysium Protocol. Activation sequence. What's this? She murmured, opening the file. A hologram of Dr. Vaughn appeared again, smaller this time, his expression urgent. If you are accessing this, it means the Elysium Protocol has been triggered. Humanity's final safeguard has been set in motion. Zara's stomach churned. Final safeguard. What does that mean? Dr. Vaughn's image continued, unfazed by her question. The Elysium Protocol ensures humanity's survival and resurgence. It was designed to awaken our forces only if Earth's existence was threatened by external forces. If you have triggered this sequence, you must choose, stand with us or stand aside. The galaxy will never be the same. The hologram ended abruptly, leaving Zara staring at the empty space where Dr. Vaughn had been. Her mind raced. Humanity had hidden itself, but it hadn't done so passively. They had prepared for a fight the galaxy might not survive. Cairo, Zara said, her voice steady. What else is in the data? Cairo's sensors flickered as it processed the files. Blueprints for advanced weapons, defense systems, and biological enhancements. Locations of hidden human outposts across the galaxy. And the drone paused. Encrypted coordinates. Coordinates to what? Zara pressed. Unknown, Cairo admitted. But the encryption suggests it is of critical importance. If I decode it, we may draw unwanted attention. Zara leaned back, staring at the stars streaking past the viewport. If these coordinates were important to humanity's plans, they could also be the key to understanding what Earth was preparing for, and why the galaxy feared it so much. We're decoding it, she said firmly. Cairo hesitated, acknowledged, beginning decryption. This may take time. As Cairo worked, Zara's thoughts drifted to the galaxy's reaction. The Ralnak wouldn't stop at Earth. If they suspected humanity was still a threat, they'd search every corner of space for their hidden bases. Zara realized she had stumbled into something far bigger than herself. Her ship's alarm jolted her from her thoughts. Proximity alert, Cairo announced. 2 ships approaching. Ralnak signatures confirmed. Zara's heart sank. They found us. The stellar Voyager shook as a warning shot zipped past the hull. The Ralnak weren't here to negotiate. Zara gripped the controls, her knuckles white. She had to think fast. Cairo, how long until the coordinates are decoded? 72% complete, the drone replied. Stalling tactics recommended. Zara grimaced. Stalling against the Ralnak was like poking a sleeping predator. Still, she didn't have a choice. She opened a communication channel, her voice steady despite the fear churning inside her. This is Zora of Yulan. I am unarmed and have no hostile intent. State your purpose. The response came immediately, a guttural voice dripping with malice. "You trespassed on the silent grave. Surrender your ship, and we might let you live." Zora's jaw tightened. The silent grave. That was what the galaxy called Earth. The Relnac knew exactly what she had discovered, and they weren't about to let her keep it. "I can't do that," Zora said, her voice firmer now. "If you destroy me, you'll lose what I've learned about Earth. You'll never know its secrets." The line went silent for a moment, and then the voice returned, colder than before. "We don't need you to know Earth's secrets. We only need to erase them." Before Zora could respond, the Relnac ships opened fire. The stellar Voyager jolted violently as she veered sharply to avoid the blasts. "Cairo, status on the decryption," Zora shouted, her hands flying over the controls. 94%, the drone replied. "Hold on a little longer." Zora's eyes narrowed. She wasn't about to let the Relnac win. With a sharp maneuver, she directed the Voyager into a nearby asteroid field, using the massive rocks as cover. The Relnac ships followed, their weapons tearing through the debris in pursuit. "Decryption complete," Cairo announced. Zora didn't hesitate. "Plot the course. Let's get out of here." The stellar Voyager's engines roared as Cairo uploaded the new coordinates. Zora braced herself as the ship jumped to hyperspace, leaving the Relnac behind. As the stars blurred around her, Zora glanced at the decoded data. The coordinates led to an uncharted sector of the galaxy, a place even the Relnac feared to explore. Whatever was waiting there, Zora knew it would hold the answers she sought. Earth's secrets were only beginning to reveal themselves, and Zora was now part of a story that could reshape the galaxy forever. The weapon of fear. The stellar Voyager emerged from hyperspace, the swirling blues and whites of faster-than-light travel giving way to an uncharted region of the galaxy. Zora leaned forward, her eyes narrowing as the ship's sensors scanned the void ahead. The coordinates from the Elysium Protocol had led her here, a dead zone of space, devoid of stars or planets. Yet something was there. She could feel it. "Cairo, what do you see?" she asked. The drone's sensors blinked, its voice unusually hesitant. "There is a structure ahead, cloaked by an energy field. Its design is ancient, but the power readings are unlike anything recorded. It appears to be dormant." Zora adjusted the ship's trajectory, her curiosity outweighing the growing pit in her stomach. As they approached, the structure came into view. It was massive, a fortress suspended in the void, its black metal surface gleaming faintly under the weak light of distant stars. The architecture was angular and precise, more advanced than anything Zora had ever seen. "It doesn't look human," she murmured. Cairo floated closer. The structural patterns suggest it was constructed by humans, but they incorporated alien technology. "This is a hybrid design." Zora's heart skipped a beat. Humanity had always been innovative, but this was something else. She guided the ship closer, and as they approached, a section of the fortress lit up, revealing an entrance. "Welcome, Zora," a familiar voice echoed through the ship's comm system. It was Dr. Vaughn's hologram, though this time it was projected directly into the cockpit. "You've reached Elysium Station, humanity's final line of defense." Zora stared at the projection. Final defense against what? Dr. Vaughn's expression darkened. "Against those who would seek to destroy us. This station houses the culmination of our knowledge, our technology, and our weapon of fear." Zora frowned. "Weapon of fear? What does that mean?" The hologram gestured toward the glowing entrance. "Come inside. You must see it for yourself." Reluctantly, Zora docked the stellar Voyager at the station and stepped into its vast, silent corridors. The air was thin but breathable, carrying a faint metallic tang. Lights flickered on as she walked, guiding her deeper into the fortress. Cairo floated beside her, its sensors scanning every inch of the strange structure. The corridor opened into a massive chamber, and Zora's breath caught in her throat. At the center of the room stood a colossal device, a sphere suspended in midair, its surface covered in glowing runes and shifting patterns. Energy crackled around it, the air vibrating with its latent power. This, Dr. Vaughn's hologram said as it materialized beside her, is the Nexus. The galaxy feared humanity because of this creation. Zara approached cautiously, the sheer presence of the Nexus making her feel small. What does it do? The Nexus is not a weapon in the traditional sense, Vaughn explained. It is a system capable of rewriting the fundamental rules of physics within a defined area. Gravity, time, matter, all of it can be manipulated. With the Nexus, humanity could level entire fleets or rebuild civilizations in an instant. It made us unstoppable. Zara's stomach churned. And the galaxy tried to stop you because of this. Vaughn nodded. They feared what we could become, and they were right to fear us. The Nexus was humanity's greatest achievement, but also our greatest threat. We realized too late that its power was too great to control. Then why keep it? Zara demanded. Why not destroy it? Vaughn's hologram flickered. Because the galaxy never stops. Empires rise and fall, and new threats emerge. The Nexus is our safeguard. But it's also a warning. If humanity ever had to rise again, it would do so with unmatched force. Before Zara could respond, Cairo interrupted. Zara, incoming transmission. It's from the Relnac. Her blood ran cold. Play it. The comm system crackled, and the guttural voice of the Relnac commander filled the chamber. Zara of Yulan, we know where you are. Surrender the secrets of Earth, or we will annihilate you and the station. Zara's fists clenched. How did they track us? Cairo's sensors blinked. They must have intercepted the signal when the Elysium protocol was activated. The Nexus power is detectable across vast distances. Dr. Vaughn's hologram turned to Zara, its expression grim. You have a choice to make. The Nexus is dormant, but it can be activated. If the Relnac reach this station, they will seize its power, and the galaxy will never recover. Zara's mind raced. The Nexus was too dangerous to fall into enemy hands, but activating it felt equally reckless. Is there another way? She asked. There is always another way, Vaughn said, but it requires courage. The Nexus is humanity's burden, and now it's yours. Choose wisely. The station trembled as the Relnac ships began firing on its outer defenses. Alarms blared, and Cairo's voice cut through the chaos. They've breached the perimeter. We have minutes before they board. Zara's hands shook as she stared at the Nexus, its energy pulsing faintly. The decision she made here would shape the future of the galaxy. She could destroy the Nexus, ending its threat forever, or she could activate it, unleashing its power to stop the Relnac. Her voice was steady as she made her choice. Cairo, prepare the station for activation. If the Relnac want to see why the galaxy fears Earth, let's show them. Cairo hesitated but obeyed. The room erupted in light as the Nexus began to awaken, its runes glowing brighter with every passing second. The hum of energy grew into a roar, and Zara felt the air around her vibrate with raw power. Outside the station, the Relnac ships faltered as their sensors scrambled, their weapons misfiring. The Nexus influence was spreading, rewriting the rules of the battlefield. For the first time in centuries, Earth's legacy had awakened, and the galaxy would never forget it. The return of Earth. The Nexus roared to life, its energy pulsing through Elysium Station like a heartbeat. The chamber was bathed in a blinding light as Zara stood at its center, her hands trembling over the control panel. The power surging through the station felt overwhelming, almost sentient, as if it was judging her worth. Outside, the Relnac fleet began to falter. Ships spun out of control, their engines sputtering as the Nexus disrupted the very laws of physics in the surrounding space. Zara watched the chaos unfold on the monitor, her breath catching in her throat. She had unleashed something far beyond her understanding. Cairo, she called out, her voice shaky, what's happening to the Relnac? Cairo floated beside her, its sensors glowing brightly. The Nexus has created a localized distortion field. Gravity, magnetism, and light are bending unpredictably. Their technology cannot compensate. Zara hesitated, a mix of awe and dread filling her. Are they alive? For now, Cairo replied. But prolonged exposure will destabilize their ships. Their destruction is inevitable unless you shut down the Nexus. Zara stared at the console, her fingers hovering over the controls. She had intended to use the Nexus as a warning, a show of force to drive the Relnak away. But this was too much. The station's power was beyond anything she could control. Dr. Vaughn's hologram reappeared, his expression calm but firm. You have seen what the Nexus can do. This is why the galaxy feared us. It is a power that cannot be matched or reasoned with. Then why give me the choice? Zara demanded. Why not destroy it yourself? Vaughn's hologram flickered slightly. Because humanity was always about choices. We believed in giving those who follow us the chance to decide their own future. But with great power comes great responsibility. The Nexus is a gift and a curse. Zara gritted her teeth. This isn't a choice, it's a trap. Vaughn's image softened. Perhaps, but you are not alone, Zara. Humanity may have disappeared, but we left behind more than technology. We left behind hope. Before Zara could respond, the chamber trembled violently. Cairo's sensors blared an alert. Multiple ships detected exiting hyperspace, identifying. They are human. Zara froze. Human. Are you sure? Cairo confirmed. The ships bear ancient Earth markings. They are activating stealth and defensive protocols. They are watching. On the monitor, sleek black ships emerged from the void, their design unlike anything Zara had ever seen. They moved with precision, cutting through the chaos like predators stalking their prey. The Relnak fleet, still reeling from the Nexus's effects, didn't stand a chance. One of the human ships transmitted a message to the station. Zara hesitated before opening the channel. The voice that came through was calm, commanding, and unmistakably human. This is Commander Rain of the Ecliptic Fleet. Stand down and deactivate the Nexus. We will handle the Relnak. Zara's heart raced. She had spent her life chasing the mystery of Earth, and now, standing at the heart of its most powerful secret, humanity had returned to the stage. Commander Rain, she said, her voice faltering. I didn't know anyone was left. There was a brief silence before Rain replied. We've always been here, watching, waiting. The Nexus was our insurance policy, but it was never meant to be used by outsiders. You've done well to defend it, but this is where we take over. Zora's grip on the console tightened. Take over. You can't just erase what I've done. The galaxy deserves to know the truth about Earth. Rain's tone remained calm, but there was an edge to his words. The galaxy already knows enough. They feared us for a reason, and it's better that they keep fearing us. If humanity's return becomes common knowledge, it will only invite more chaos. Zara's mind raced. She had seen the power of the Nexus, felt its overwhelming energy. She understood why Earth had chosen to hide, but she also believed in the right to truth. What if I don't shut it down? She asked. Rain's reply was swift. Then you risk becoming the very thing the galaxy feared. The Nexus isn't a weapon for peace. It's a tool of annihilation. You're better than that, Zara. The chamber grew silent except for the hum of the Nexus. Zara looked at Cairo, her loyal companion, then at the swirling energy of the Nexus. The choice before her felt heavier than ever. Cairo, she said softly, shut it down. The drone beeped in acknowledgement and began the shutdown sequence. The Nexus's light dimmed, its energy receding like a tide. The distortion field outside began to stabilize, and the Relnak fleet, battered and broken, retreated into hyperspace. As the chamber returned to darkness, Commander Rain's voice came through again. You've made the right choice. Humanity thanks you. Zara sighed, exhaustion washing over her. What happens now? Rain paused before answering. Now you leave. The Ecliptic Fleet will secure the station and ensure the Nexus is never used again. You've done your part, Zara. Go home. But as the transmission ended and the human ships began their silent work, Zara couldn't shake the feeling that her journey was far from over. Humanity had returned, but it was still hiding, playing its cards close to its chest. The galaxy had every right to fear Earth. But now, Zara understood why. As she boarded the stellar Voyager and set a course for neutral space, Zara whispered to herself, "The galaxy may fear Earth, but maybe it should learn to understand it." Far behind her, the Nexus went dark, its secrets buried once more. But deep in her heart, Zara knew the galaxy would never truly be the same. The galaxy trembles. The stellar Voyager drifted silently through neutral space, its sensors scanning the emptiness for any sign of pursuit. Zara leaned back in her pilot's seat, her thoughts racing. The Nexus was shut down. Humanity's ships had revealed themselves, and the Ralnak were sent retreating into the void. But this wasn't the end. She could feel it. "Cairo," she said, breaking the silence. "What do you think happens now?" The drone's spherical body turned toward her, its sensors glowing faintly. "The events you've set into motion are already rippling across the galaxy. The Relnak will not forget what happened at Elysium Station, and the human fleet's appearance will raise questions." Zara nodded. Questions the galaxy won't like the answers to. Cairo paused before adding, "And questions that you may be in a unique position to answer." Zara sighed. She had come to uncover the secrets of Earth, to understand why the galaxy feared humanity. Now she carried those secrets like a burden, knowing they could either save the galaxy or destroy it. As if to echo her thoughts, the ship's comm system crackled to life. A secure transmission appeared on her screen, its source untraceable. Zara hesitated before opening it. The face that appeared was Commander Rain, his sharp features illuminated by the dim light of his ship's control room. "Zara," he began, his voice firm but not unkind, "I'm contacting you because you've proven yourself. You've seen what few others have, and you made the right choice at the Nexus." "I didn't feel like I had much of a choice," Zara replied, her tone edged with frustration. "You left me with a weapon that could destroy the galaxy. What else was I supposed to do?" Rain nodded, as though expecting her anger. "Fair point. But you also showed restraint. That's more than I can say for most." Zara crossed her arms, her eyes narrowing. "Why are you contacting me, Commander? If the Ecliptic Fleet is so capable, why involve me at all?" Rain's expression softened, but his eyes remained calculating. "Because you've already involved yourself, Zara. The Relnak know your name. They've seen your ship. You're now a symbol, whether you like it or not." Zara's stomach sank. "A symbol of what?" "Of defiance," Rain said. "Of humanity's return. And of the possibility that the galaxy's future doesn't belong to empires like the Relnak, but to something greater." Zara leaned back, her mind spinning. "You think I can help humanity? You don't even trust me with your secrets." Rain gave a faint smile. "Trust is earned, and you're well on your way. But there's more at stake than you realize. The Relnak aren't the only ones who fear Earth. Other factions are already moving, preparing for the possibility that humanity might rise again." "What does that mean for me?" Zara asked, her voice low. "It means you have a choice," Rain replied. "You can return to your life, keep what you've seen to yourself, and live quietly. Or," he leaned closer to the screen, his gaze intense, "you can become part of something bigger." "Bigger?" Zara echoed, her heart racing. Rain nodded. "Humanity is ready to step back into the galaxy, but not as conquerors. We need allies, voices who can bridge the gap between us and the civilizations that fear us. You've seen both sides. You could be that bridge." Zara stared at the screen, her mind a whirlwind of emotions. She had spent her life searching for the truth about Earth, and now it was staring her in the face. The opportunity to shape the galaxy's future was within her grasp, but it came with unimaginable risks.